Another day of testimony in the federal trial of 3 Minneapolis police officers, former officers, charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights.
Rob Olson joins us live now. So, Rob, several witnesses who testified in Derek Chauvin's state trial also taking the stand in this trial.
Yeah, we've seen 4 witnesses on the stand now so far through this second day. 3 of them already testified in Derek Chauvin's murder trial last year, offering much of the same testimony this time around, but to a different end. Prosecutors here, federal prosecutors, not trying to prove murder charges, they're trying to prove civil rights violations. So some of the questions are a little different in trying to reach that goal of proving those charges.
When George Floyd passed a counterfeit $20 bill at Cup Foods in May of 2020, it was to cashier Christopher Martin. Martin was the second witness on the stand in the federal trial of 3 former Minneapolis officers, Tu Tao, Alexander Keng, and Thomas Lane. Martin testified he was going to let it slide, but his manager told him to get Floyd to come back in. But twice he said Floyd refused, which is why police were called. He later watched Floyd being held down on the street and also took video of his own, but testified he deleted the video that night because I didn't want to be asked to show other people, because I didn't want to see it myself anymore. The day began with continued testimony from FBI video analyst Kimberly Moline, whose main purpose was to explain to the jury where all the different videos came from and how they were synced up. Beginning with her because video evidence, especially the body-worn cameras, is key to much of the case, as the prosecution works to prove the officers should have intervened with Chauvin's knee hold, but did not, that it was clear George Floyd needed medical help, and they didn't give it. The third witness, Charles McMillan, another witness who stopped when he saw the commotion because he was nosy, he testified. This is video from last spring when McMillan broke down testifying in Chauvin's murder trial, and he got emotional again. Asked what concern he had for George Floyd with Chauvin's knee on his neck, he said, "My concern was I knew something bad was going to happen to Mr. Floyd." "What do you mean?" he was asked. "He was going to die. He was going to die."
And the final witness on the stand late this afternoon, the 911 dispatcher from Minneapolis who took the 911 call. Again, much of her testimony very similar to what she testified in the Chauvin murder trial about getting the call, about what time squads were dispatched, about dispatching an ambulance to the scene as well. Her testimony just wrapped up a few minutes ago, so they're done for the day. Live in St. Paul, Rob Olson, Fox 9.